All of you, how are you all? Well, today, there is this important headline on the front page of the Indian Express which says that US and Iran reach a deal to end, this war and to reopen Hormuz, which is a good sign. And finally, we are moving toward that relief, where we can see that the price of the oil, LPG, LNG, it can decrease. So before starting this lecture, let's first understand what is, its importance for India. Basically, if you will see, this is USA on the world map, and this is Iran, and here is our country, India. And what we can see is the proximity of India to, Strait of Hormuz. And let's first understand something, some points which we need to know, in journal. What is those points? First is that the fifth of the global oil, and LNG travels from the Strait of Hormuz. It crosses the Strait of Hormuz. Along with that, if we see that how much percentage of India's imports of oil, LNG, and LPG comes from Strait of Hormuz, then we can see that 40% of the oil, 60% of the LNG, and 90% of the LPG, comes from this strait. That is why, if there's any news related to reopening of Strait of Hormuz, it's of immense importance for India. And let's move ahead with our discussion, that what is the significance of USA and Iran peace deal, and how it is going to impact the world, how it started. So basically, recently we know that there is G7 summit in Iran, and when USA's President Donald Trump, he reached there, he announced that the Strait of Hormuz is soon going to be open, and the world can start their trade via this important Strait of Hormuz. And this is going to be very significant, because it is going to end one of the important war in the recent time. And it will depend on or hinge on to and the to end the hostilities also in Lebanon, where we know that there was Israel support his Hezbollah group, and it is there was attack by this group in the Israel. And Israel and Lebanon was also in a series of conflict from past few years. So this is a very significant memorandum of understanding or treaty which will be signed between these nations, and it will give an opportunity to the Arabs also to again start their normal life. So let's see that what are the few important points, right? So Israel, when in this whole deal, where American and Iran want to end this war as soon as possible, there's one condition put by Iran, that it is asking Americans to basically interfere and ask Israel to stop attacking Hezbollah in Lebanon. And this is one of the serious condition from the perspective of Israel, because they are claiming that they have the freedom of action. If Hezbollah is going to attack them in future, they have the right to retaliate, and this is the whole point. Now, official signing the ceremony for the agreement basically are going to go to Geneva, and there this treaty there the final signing ceremony will be held. So basically after that there will be 60 days negotiation period. According to this agreement, they have extended the ceasefire for 60 days, and USA want Iran to build a nuclear weapon. Am I wrong on this? Yes, I am wrong. USA want Iran to not build nuclear weapon, and this is the whole point, that Iran has been striving to build its own nuclear weapon, as to create that deterrence in the world, that in future if any countries attack Iran, then Iran has sufficient weapons to protect its interest. And USA and Israel, basically they both want basically Iran to give up on this idea of building the nuclear weapon. So what are your opinion on this topic? Do let me know in the comment section, and I'll do appreciate your opinion. And also do subscribe to my channel, because I will also appreciate that move as well. Now let's move ahead, and now we are going to understand that what are the things that Iran, was asking, and what are the things that are, the part of this treaty. So three important, part which I noticed is that first there will be lifting of the sanctions. You know that under the Katsa Act, USA had imposed sanctions on the Iran, because of which the Indian interests were also, compromised in this area, where if we were to access, the Central Asia, we obviously need some route to connect, and we were looking at Chahabar port in Iran as in one of, one of the very important port which will connect India to the Central Asia. And the sanctions was a major challenge for India. And also, if we were about to do trade, with the Iran, which sells a large volume of that in the world. So this was also a challenge, because USA was always, giving India's repeated warning in the past to not to do trade with Iran, because it is under, it is sanctioned under the Katsa Act. Okay, so basically what is the significance for India is that if this sanctions will be lifted, then it will give a huge opportunity, to Indian companies, Indian state owned oil corporations, to basically do, trade. In the previous chapters we learn about oil marketing companies. What happens that they trade with these Gulf countries, and basically what they do that they sell the oil, LPG, and LNG, at a subsidized rate decided by government, and above the cost is paid by the government. But what is happening that these OMC were, bearing, the effect of this war. But if this war will end, another thing that is going to happen, that lots of ship, are waiting for Strait of Hormuz to open, and then they will able to arrive, which will give, a small relief to India, and to, to other countries in the Indian Ocean. Second is basically release of the frozen asset of Iran, because Iran, already had some, dollars, and it wasn't able to use them because of, the sanctions. And some, when the sanctions was imposed on Iran, some of its important asset was frozen. So this is also going to be, relief, which can be, moved in a direction that Iran will able to, build its capital Tehran again. It will, get the opportunity to basically once again, move ahead, in development of the crucial infrastructure which has been destructed in this war. Next is basically paid damage for the war by USA, President Donald Trump. This is obvious, everyone knows about it. Now these are three important things from the perspective, of development and infrastructure, which is, going to not just help Iran, but also, the country which are in the near about of, this nation. This is about India. So let's just understand why it's significant from India. So basically, if we see from the point of view of import, then 88% of India's oil comes from its comes from import, right? We do not produce, we just produced how much percent? We produce how much percent? Right, 12% of oil domestically, and 88% oil is imported in India. And from this 88, we have already learned that 40% oil is coming from the West Asia, right? If we see the LPG, then 60% of, LPG is imported in India. We produce domestically only 40%. And of this LPG, how much percent comes from India? 60 or 90? That you tell me, because I've already told you, before in this lecture about LPG and LNG. And 50% we import, and 50% we produce domestically. So here is, a very important thing, that that according to India's point of, if we will see the situation from the India's point of view, then what are, the things that need to know, that it will take time for the reproduction to ramp back up. It is not going to, uh, rejuvenate on its own. It is going to take time, and India is saying that it is going to take around 1 year for the destruction which has been there, for them to recover and basically to rejuvenate, and for the logistic to normalize. It is going to take time, and the premium risk embedded in crude price to dissipate, because we know that the crude price are 20% high because of this war, if we compare it the pre-war time. So there's also one more thing which was discussed here, that UAE had left OPEC plus. So एक चीज इसके ना हम समझेंगे that what is this about. So earlier what was the thing, that the countries which were part of the OPEC plus, so what was the thing that they used to follow the price which was controlled by the OPEC plus member. So now UAE has left OPEC plus. Earlier it has left OPEC plus. So let's just revise that what are the benefit that UAE got, because there was greater production over oil production. So OPEC plus members coordinate at production level. They decided how much they will produce. But if a country wants to produce more, if it's which should produce more, so it has to left. So that's why UAE left OPEC plus. Now different nations interests are there. For UAE has a different national interest. So the country's economic need may not align was not aligning with OPEC plus production cut policies. Now increased revenue was another reason, that by producing more oil than OPEC plus quotas that were allowed, the country may try to earn more imports. So the political reason was also there, that there was disagreement between the other member countries, or the geopolitical consideration uh, could have also can lead to it led to an exit. So these were all the important reason that why UAE left it. So what I can predict is that for means you should have you should know the dependence of India on Gulf country. Second, there is importance of OPEC, right? What is the OPEC? Who decide the prices of oil, LPG and LNG, and the production quantity in this OPEC plus. So that is also crucial, which we are going to discuss in the next video, and I'll tell you that what is the significance of this area. For that you need to subscribe to my channel, and I'll let you know each and every detail. And thanks for being with me.